James. Thanks for sparing your time today with us. And could I start by asking your name and the name of your company and broadly what you do?
My name is James Hickman. I'm the Chief Commercial Officer of Ecospend. We are an open banking platform based in London. We have full stack capabilities for both data and payments. So we're FCA authorized for PISP and AISP. We have been around for about 3 years, but we really launched our commercial activities Q4 last year, so October 2020. And we have the full stack capability, so we have no dependency on any third party. We have built the full end-to-end open banking payments and data solutions in-house.
Brilliant. Okay. And you said 3 years, was it, you've been going?
I think we launched beginning of 2018, and in very much focused exclusively on building a proposition around PSD2. So we are built exclusively for open finance. That's our reason for being. And
that, therefore, by implication, is what sort of generated the idea that you saw PSD2 coming up and thought, we've got an opportunity here to create a business. Is that correct?
Absolutely. We saw PSD2 arrive. We saw the enormous potential of open banking across both the payments and data landscape. And so we focused initially on building our engineering team and developing the technology. So we absolutely focused on building the product before we decided to take it to market.
Can you talk us through it in a bit more detail? What's the end user journey and the benefit, and how you use open banking to facilitate that?
Absolutely. So an open banking payment is really a direct account to account payment. So you're effectively initiating a payment from one bank account API to another, which, if you think about it, reduces the complexity very significantly. When you look at traditional card payments. I think we've done some research on this, and there are about 15 steps within a typical card payment. Within an open banking payment, it's significantly less than that, because all you're doing as a consumer, or indeed a corporate bank account owner, is you're initiating a payment directly from your bank account using your biometric ID if you're making the payment through your mobile, or if you're making it through your desktop using sensitive password information. So it's very secure, it's very quick, it's built upon the faster payments network, which it means that funds clear instantly, and it's a fraction of the cost of cards, because you have none of the interchange fees or 3D secure or card fees that you would typically associate with a card payment. And also, as a consumer, you're not having to provide any sensitive information, because you're not handing over a card number. You're simply initiating a payment directly from your bank account. Everything is pre-populated, the person you're paying, the amount you're paying, a reference number if appropriate, and you're really just triggering the payment. So we believe that this is a very important sort of step forward of, this is the future of payments, really. And the other benefits include things like removing chargeback fraud. So, for example, it's quite easy for me to swipe your debit card when you're not looking and go on a spending spree using your contactless. But it'd be quite hard for me to make a bank payment from your bank account, using your biometric ID without you being there. So there are many benefits, both from a security and a cost point of view.
What are the key benefits to the bank or financial institution with your solution, if you see any?
I think, it's really a case of efficiency and cost. So you remove a lot of admin costs, you remove a lot of insurance, additional sort of security related costs, and importantly, you remove a lot of the fraud risk. So chargeback fraud is a very significant problem for both merchants and financial institutions. Card transactions can be cancelled after the event with few questions asked. It's very hard to argue that an open banking payment wasn't initiated, because typically it's initiated using very, very secure biometric or ID or password information. So I'd say that the benefits to financial institutions would revolve around cost savings, and also removing admin fees and fraud related costs.
So there is a benefit in there for them as well.
Yes.
The way you're competing, but there's a benefit to it as well.
Sure.
Okay. So you're in the UK market. Are you looking at, I think I did see something on your website, but you're looking to Europe as well?
Correct. Yeah, we are connected to most of the major European markets. We are headquartered in London. That's where we have been developing our business. But yes, we are finalizing our passporting arrangements for the key European markets, and we will be delivering a comparable service or across the key European markets. I think it's worth pointing out that the UK is probably the most developed and advanced open banking market today. But the other markets are certainly catching up. So this will become a global phenomenon. This account to account payments. The benefits are totally ubiquitous globally, and it is expected that all markets will ultimately catch up and start to use this as a key channel in the future.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, that makes sense. So outside Europe, any areas of the world that catch your eye and sort of thinking about, if you can tell us about them?
I mean, clearly other markets coming on stream are Latin America. Brazil seems pretty advanced. Australia is beginning now to take off, and yeah, clearly what the US is probably a bit further behind, given the fragmented nature of its bank landscape. However, you can see in recent months some real signs that the US market is taking off. Canada, I think, is a bit further ahead. So that there is absolutely no reason not to believe that this is going to become a globally ubiquitous phenomenon, technological construct.
I mean, just as an aside, but for my own edification, really. So is that driven largely by the ability of faster payments, or is faster payments not essential to get your product into market?
Faster payments isn't essential. I think in different markets you find faster payments equivalents. So, for example, in the UK, in Europe, you have SEPA Instant and SEPA Credit, but no, fundamentally this can be built on any sort of payments infrastructure. So yeah, it's really dependent on whatever the prevailing payment rails are in different markets.
Okay, brilliant. Okay. What about challenge in getting your product to market? What would be the greatest one, if there is a greatest one, that was the issue that was the biggest potential stumbling block?
I think it's ensuring that the consumer experience or the end customer experience is strong and doesn't provide additional friction when it comes to offering that conversion rate, which all merchants are looking for. So clearly there's no point in having a cheaper, more secure, more fraud-proof payment solution if it harms your conversion rate for customers. So we would probably argue that it's a balancing act between ensuring that you optimize conversion while at the same time bringing a viable new payment method. And I think it's about identifying those areas, those payment areas where an open banking payment is actually going to bring value to all parties, and where, for example, existing incumbent methods will prevail. If I'm going to my local coffee shop and I just want to buy a coffee for a couple of pounds, then a contactless payment will probably always be the solution that works. If, for example, I'm looking to send a large amount of money overseas through a remittance platform, many of which we work with, then and it's a larger transaction amount, then perhaps that's more relevant to an open banking payment. So I think it's about making sure that the consumer experience justifies the benefits that this solution brings, if that makes sense.
It does, and we were talking earlier, and you and I just mentioning about that. To me, this the security of payment and the convenience of payment must be up there as the key things for that. So that's what you're talking about, really. Okay. What do you see then over the next, say, 2, 3, 4, 5 years as far as the development of open banking is concerned?
I mean, I think we're seeing it. I mean, one observation is it's still pretty early in its life cycle. There is still a reasonably low level of awareness among our target market. Certainly in the last probably 12 months, we've seen an uptick in awareness and adoption, but it still represents a small fraction of the overall market landscape. I think with things like the UK government adopting open banking payments through HMRC, which we actually we were awarded that contract in January. It requires sort of large organizations with large consumer cohorts to adopt this and distribute it. So I think, to answer your question, next 3 to 5 years we will hopefully see an increasing rate of growth, and the benefits will hopefully begin to become more widespread and more widely known. The other thing, of course, is with new services and solutions coming forward like VRP, that will also represent a step change. So, I mean, as we all know, any technological growth or development is always contingent on the value being delivered to the customers and the end consumers, and obviously that needs to happen in order for this to become more widespread.
Yeah. I believe VRP, looking at 2022, that becomes a green light. Is that correct? So that's something.
Yeah, what we're seeing is that from about March, it will be mandated across the CMA9, and it will start becoming a potential replacement for traditional systems such as direct debits and so on, and that's obviously very exciting.
I think you maybe have covered it, but I'll ask the question: what opportunities really this creates for your company?
The opportunities of open banking or VRP?
Yeah, no, the open banking as a whole and that growth over this period, in whatever direction or however wide it gets.
Well, I think it's we are hopefully one of the leading players. I think we've built the systems. Our technology is proven. I think we're doing very large volumes now with a number of our clients, particularly with the UK government. So it feels like we've built the foundations to take advantage of the adoption of this solution by various industries, and also I think this is a great opportunity for UK PLC, because we have developed a very advanced landscape and ecosystem for open banking here in the UK, and I think we're well placed to help other markets in other parts of the world to adopt a similar technology. So hopefully it's an opportunity to export some of the IP and skill sets that we've developed here.
And I'm maybe reading between the lines a bit, but are you, from what you're saying, it sounds to me like your ambitions for the company are that you will, as new opportunities arise in like VRP and other things, as you said, may well come along, that your company will want to be in that, at least to see if it's an opportunity for you to widen your offering.
Absolutely, and I think probably we're all just scratching the surface at the moment. There are so many potentially ubiquitous channels through which we can build products. And yeah, it's going to be exciting to be part of that journey to distribute into key markets, both in terms of industry verticals, but also territory wise as well.